Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our next episode of Video Game Reviews, and for this week we are starting things off, or for this week we are going to be covering Mario Kart World, which of course, if you remember, was the big launch game that released with the Nintendo Switch 2 back on June 5th of 2025. And to say that this game has caused a bit of controversies would be an understatement. First off, when they announced this game, when they announced the price for this game, that was what had everyone up in arms. Like, $80, what? Now, I will point out that that is the US price. Obviously, in Canada, it's going to be higher than that because, well, we have Canadian dollars up here. Now, in this game, a maximum of 24 different characters, which is exactly double what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had. And some fun facts about this game is that they originally started developing this game for the Nintendo Switch in 2017, and then because of the hardware limitations, they ended up moving it over to the Switch 2 a few years after that. And yeah, and to this point, this game has sold several million copies. Now, as you can see here, I actually don't have a copy of the game sitting in front of the camera here like I normally would when I come on and talk about a game, and that's because my copy of Mario Kart World that I have on the Switch 2 is not a physical copy. It was bundled in with the Switch 2 that I bought, which basically made that a pack-in game. Although in this instance there was a download code. Alright, anyway, you have 50 playable characters in this one. 24 of which have alternate unlockable costumes accessed by eating snacks during races. And then most remaining characters basically exist as obstacles on the game's tracks. Yeah, as I mentioned, supports up to 24 players. Now, how they changed up the Grand Prix mode for this one is, in past Mario Kart games, you usually had 4 separate races. Well, except for Super Mario Kart, because for that one you had 5, but that was because, well, the tracks were a bit shorter in Super Mario Kart, so, and plus it was also the first game in the series, so yeah. But every game since then has been 4 races per Grand Prix. Now, yeah, you have to, after you finish a race, you have to drive to the next course in order, so that's basically what makes this unique. And outside of the Grand Prix mode, you can race on tracks for free laps, though, like in previous Mario Kart games. And there are also court tracks from past games in the series that have gotten some facelifts in order to fit the game's open world design, and basically including a shift from day to night. And there's also a brand new Knockout Tour mode in this game, which sees 24 racers competing in a much longer race. And what I mean by that is, for the Knockout Tour races, you have 6 different sections of the track, and there is a minimum position that you must be in order, at the end of one section, in order to advance to the next. Otherwise, you will be knocked out. Hence the name of the mode. And of course, you have battle mode, like in previous games, where players can compete against one another to pop each other's balloons. Balloon battle, or getting the most coins in coin runners. And then, of course, mirror mode is also back from previous games, and mirror mode, of course, if you remember, basically inverts the entire map. There's also the free roam mode, which is single player. You can drive to any location, including ones that are off-road or outside of the racetracks. There's There's several missions in there, like finding collectibles, and you can also take photos of your chosen driver. So, yeah, as I mentioned, they originally started developing this game in March of 2017, which was right when the Nintendo Switch came out and just before the release of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And then, well, prototyping, and then at the end of 2017 was when the development of that game originally started. And basically, why they titled it Mario Kart World instead of Mario Kart 9 is basically because the developers wanted it to be a completely new approach. So yeah, that's what happened there. And the soundtrack in this game is really good. Yeah, like, there's a lot of good music tracks in this game. Some of them, a good amount of which are pretty catchy. And this game, of course, was first revealed on January 16th of 2025, along with the Nintendo Switch 2, with critics comparing the art style of it to Super Mario Bros. Wonder and the Super Mario Bros. Movie, both, of course, released in 2023. The title of the game was officially the game, as well as the first trailer, were both officially revealed on April 2nd, 2025, during a Nintendo Direct. And during that same presentation, that was when they announced the launch date for the Switch 2. Now, at the time of announcing this, the going rate for games on the Nintendo Switch was $60 US. Well, with the only real major exception being Tears of the Kingdom, which released at $70 US. So for them to come out and just go and jump right up to $80 US, yeah. But did that stop people from buying the game? No, of course not. Because you know how these Nintendo fans will basically just gobble up anything Nintendo related. Yeah. Now, of course, during the launch, there was an option to get the game bundled in with the Switch 2, like I did, or getting the Nintendo Switch and the 2 as well as the game separately. However, the Mario Kart specific Switch 2 bundle, I think at the time of airing this video is about to go away, or may have gone away. I'm not sure which. Because you know how these bundles are only like for a limited time or whatever. And then beginning October 16th, they're actually replacing that with a new bundle for Pokemon Legends Z8, which is going to be a really great game, I think. I'm definitely looking forward to playing that on the channel. Now, what do I think of Mario Kart World? Well, it's a lot of fun overall, and the racing in this is definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, this is probably the best Mario Kart since, well, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I just wish this game had some sort of story mode in it, though. I mean, that would have been nice, but, what can you do about that? Alright, so overall, I think this game, for me, personally, would get an 8.8 out of 10. Which I think is pretty good. Alright, so, on that subject, that is going to do it for this episode of Video Game Reviews, and I will see you next time.